A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms just delivered some classic Game of Thrones deaths in its penultimate episode, and we finally got the backstory we've been waiting for. The season's sixth episode centered around the Trial of Seven, which our main character Dunk is facing as a result of defending the puppeteer Tansel from the wrath of Aerion Targaryen. Dunk has managed to gather his team of 7 with the help of his squire Egg, and now we're about to see how this hedge knight who has seen no combat is going to fare in actual combat. Most of the violent action takes place in the ring, where it's sanctioned by the bloodthirsty morality that governs Westeros. But when Dunk blacks out on the field after being stuck with a spear, the writers grab the chance to stick in a flashback to Dunk's origins in Flea Bottom, and we finally get his backstory. Younger Dunk, as a tween, has crept out to a battlefield near King's Landing, along with his friend Rafe. They're grabbing whatever they can from the corpses of the highborn. When Dunk tries to mercy kill a red-bearded man who's desperately wounded, Rafe stops him, pointing out they could ransom him if they get him out alive. Instead of the sweet oblivion of death, this poor guy gets to experience the misery of two 11-year-olds trying to drag him out from underneath his horse. It's a brutal look at what survival in Flea Bottom actually means. The flashback continues as the pair return to Flea Bottom, described as full up on people hurting, making it tinder waiting to catch. We see their way of life. They've been on their own, either swindling or thieving or cashing in on luck to amass a small amount of coin that's constantly threatened by bullies. Their main threat? A city watchman named Alistair, who robs the two little kids of their silver. Then, in a truly horrific moment, he slits Rafe's throat right in front of Dunk, spattering gore on the young boy's face and forcing him to watch his only friend slowly choke on her blood. This traumatic moment explains so much about Dunk's character and why he became who he is. It's classic Game of Thrones storytelling, showing how violence and cruelty shape people in Westeros. But the backstory isn't the only major event. Back in the present, the Trial of Seven claims lives, with the biggest tragedy being Baelor Targaryen's death. Baelor had gone against his own family to support Dunk during the trial, and he winds up dying from a grisly head injury. Here's the truly awful part. The guy seems mostly fine until they take off his helmet and his occipital lobe comes away with it. It's a classic bait-and-switch Game of Thrones death, the kind of thing George R.R. Martin is famous for. You think someone survived, and then they very much have not. This death is particularly devastating because Baelor was the noble heir to the Iron Throne, and he lost his life defending Dunk. It's a moment that puts Dunk, who was triumphant for just a second, firmly in the hot seat. A prince died for him. As for Aerion Targaryen, while he gets brutalized in battle, this is a battle of his own making. He was too cowardly to face Dunk on his own, and instead called for this needless trial of 7 that claims multiple lives. But at this point, crowning him the villain again would be boring. The episode also shows us Sir Arlen, who defends young Dunk against the Goldcloaks after they kill Rafe, and then lets him squire. But while he saves Dunk's life, he's more of a drunk and absent father figure than someone truly worthy of adoration. He leaves the boy shivering on moss for a while before finally accepting him as his squire. This episode perfectly captures what makes Game of Thrones universe storytelling so compelling. The violence has consequences, the good guys don't always win, and sometimes helping someone costs everything. Baelor's death for defending Dunk, Rafe's murder shaping young Dunk's entire life, and the brutality of the Trial of 7 all remind us that in Westeros, honor and survival rarely go hand in hand. With just one episode left in the season, the stakes are never higher, and we finally understand the trauma that made Dunk into the knight he is today.